Hello, Namaskar, good evening. This is Balneet Singh Bedi. I welcome all of you to the daily news analysis session by Tathastu ICS. Good evening, Samreen, Sumed, Thakur. Good evening, everyone. Let's quickly start today's session. As we all know, one of the most important news of today's newspaper is that the Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankar ji, or the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha, has resigned yesterday on the health grounds. So today we will be seeing all the important provisions related to the Vice President of India. Which article says that there shall be a Vice President of India? Which article talks about the qualifications, the oath of office, the resignation system, as well as the removal process of the Vice President of India. Good evening, Khushi, Barkat, Pooja, Sumed. Good evening, everyone. Rimpa, Deepika. Good evening, everyone. So this first one, Dhankar submits his resignation to the President of India, that is Draupadi Murmu ji. He has resigned on the health grounds. But again, there are some other reasons. There are much speculations, much controversy regarding his resignation, which we will be able to find out only in the upcoming days. Till then, all of the things are just the rumors which are there in the all over the social media as well. Good evening, Kathiravan. Then comes the next, what is the legal status of right to vote? So here we will see that right to vote is a statutory right. We will see the type of rights here, what are natural rights, what are constitutional rights, what are statutory rights, as well as what are the legal rights, and all of those in little bit of detail. Then we will see the difference between constitutional and statutory rights, along with the various judgments which have reaffirmed that right to vote is nothing but a statutory right. Okay, then comes under prelim Sarthi, we have Nisar scheduled to be launched on July 30th. Now Nisar is a collaborative space mission which is initiated by National Aeronautics and Space Administration, that is NASA, along with the ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization. Now this satellite mission is scheduled to take place on 30th of July from Sri Harikota Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sri Harikota in Andhra Pradesh, and there it will help in all the whatever the collaborative satellite mission which have been initiated by both the organizations. Khushi, I would request you not to spam the group. These current affairs are most important for the UPSC CSE perspective as well as the state level examinations. For CLAT, you need to go to some other platform in order to do the current affairs from that perspective. Right? Thank you, Khushi. I hope you understand. You can watch these current affairs. Definitely it would help you. But these are not specifically for the CLAT perspective. And I hope you will not spam the group as well. Then comes the first, Jagdeep Dhankar submit his resignation to the President, that is Draupadi Murmu ji. Why in news submitted his resignation? Covers GS paper 2, that is Indian polity. Then comes the first one, Article 63. Now what does Article 63 says? Article 63 says that there should be a Vice President of India. Then comes Article 64. Article 64 of the Indian Constitution says the same Vice President would also act as the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, right? Ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. This is being said by the Article 64. Then comes Article 65. Article 65 talks about if the Vice President is working as the President of India, if Vice President undertake the roles and responsibilities of the President of India. Suppose Draupadi Murmu ji is not available in the President's office due to some n number of reasons, maybe some medical grounds, health reasons, or she's out of the country for some official visits or anything. If there is a vacancy, there is absence, and the Vice President takes over. During that time, Vice President would only act as the President, and he would not act as the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. This has been specifically mentioned in the articles of the Indian Constitution. Then comes the next, that is resignation. Now VP gives its resignation to none other than but it gives its resignation to the President of India. President of India. अब जगदीप धनखड़ जी ने कल resign अगर करा है तो उन्होंने resignation letter किसको दिया है? They have given the resignation letter to the President of India, that is Draupadi Murmu ji, right? So all these, again 63 there shall be a Vice President of India. 64 talks about that the Vice President would also act as the ex officio Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. 65 says अगर Vice President President की roles and responsibility निभाएगा, during that time he would not act as the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Then comes the last, resignation. Resignation is being submitted to the President of India. Then comes Article 66. Chiku, I request you not to spam the group. If you will continue doing that, I have to get you removed or blocked from the live chat. Please do not spam the group, right? Then comes the Article 66. Now Article 66 regarding the qualifications of the Vice President of India, or you can say the ex officio Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Now first thing, which is very basic, first he must be an Indian citizen. Second, at least 35 years old. Minimum age should be 35 years. Then they must be eligible for election as the member of the Rajya Sabha. जो राज्य सभा एमपी की क्वालिफिकेशन होनी चाहिए, चेयरमैन की भी वही रिक्वायरमेंट है as per the qualification as well. They must not hold any office of profit under the union government, state government, local authorities or any other public authorities. Now all these are the important qualifications from the exam perspective which you need to know. Under which article? Under Article 66. Now comes the election of Vice President. Who looks after the election of Vice President? That is as per Article 324, Election Commission of India. It conducts, supervise the elections for the Vice President of India. Then comes the vacancy. Article 68 of the Constitution mandates that the election to fill, भाई जब तक अगर 5 साल की टर्म है हमारे वाइस प्रेसिडेंट की, before this term ends, the ECI should conduct fresh elections for the Vice President of India and it should not be delayed by any reason. Okay, then comes the participants. Now this is very, very important. Listen to me very carefully here. Who all are the participants for the election of the Vice President of India? So we have elected, Chiku, I'll answer this question after I complete the editorial. I'll answer this question because if I give it right now, will be moved from what we are discussing right now. So all the elected and nominated members of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they come together and they give vote in order to elect the Vice President of India. Then by which method? They adopt the method of single transferable vote, proportional representation system by the means of single transferable vote. So proportional representation system by the means of single transferable vote. Due to this is the method with which they would be elected. Then comes the next, that is the oath. Now oath is being covered under Article 69, right? Oath of office. जब वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया अपनी चेयर पे बैठने से पहले ओथ लेते हैं तो उनकी ओथ को कौन एडमिनिस्टर करता है? उनकी ओथ को एडमिनिस्टर करता है प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया. देन कम्स द टर्म ऑफ ऑफिस. सो टर्म ऑफ ऑफिस comes under article 67, right? Term of office comes under article 67. Now it comes as the 5 years period, right? 5 years is the period for the term of the office of the vice president of India. Then comes the removal process of the vice president. Now we have discussed the article 67 in the previous slides. It states कि भाई अगर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट को रिमूव करना है तो ही और शी कैन बी रिमूव बाय द इफेक्टिव मेजॉरिटी. अब इफेक्टिव मेजॉरिटी क्या होती है? जितनी भी टोटल मेंबरशिप है हमारे राज्यसभा की, उसमें से आप वेकेंट सीट्स को हटा दीजिए, जितनी सीट्स खाली हैं उनको हटा दीजिए. एंड आफ्टर रिमूविंग द वेकेंट सीट्स, जो भी उन मेंबरशिप की मेजॉरिटी होगी, दैट इज नोन एज द इफेक्टिव majority of all the then members of the Rajya Sabha must be agreed by the Lok Sabha with at least 14-day notice given before moving the resolution. अब 14 दिन का notice period देना पड़ता है to the Vice President of India, right? There is no precedent to indicate resolution can be considered in the next session. Article 92 ये भी कहता है कि जब chairman का removal process is going on as per article 92, till that time, during that time the chairman cannot preside over the settings of the Rajya Sabha as per article 92, right? They cannot preside over the Rajya Sabha settings. Now there is a PYQ from the 2013. Quickly solve this question, everyone. Good, Hina, Mamta, Dattaraj, Roshni. Very good. Very good. Charita, Sudesh, Thakur, Banti, all of you have given the correct answer. Now the first one is chairman and deputy chairman are not the members of that house. See, chairman is not the member of the house, but deputy chairman is definitely the member of the house, is the member of the house, right? Then comes nominated members of the two houses have no voting right in the presidential election, but they have the right to vote in the election of the vice president. This is correct. That is elected and nominated members. Elected and nominated members have the right to vote for the elections of the vice president of India or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So B is the correct answer here. Then I have one more question for you. Quickly solve this question, everyone. Abhi, we just have read this, discussed this. I hope you all will give the correct answer here. Good. Mamta, Kathiravan, Meenu, Hina, Dattaraj, Shankar. All of you have given the correct answer. Chiku, Shankar, Roshni. Correct. The resolution for removing the Vice President of India can be moved in not Lok Sabha, not either House of Parliament, not the joint sitting, but the Rajya Sabha alone by effective majority and agreed by the Lok Sabha alone. Agreed by the Lok Sabha alone. Right? Now this is very, very important from your exam perspective. The removal process. With this, we have completed. Right? Okay. So before we begin the second editorial, Chiku, I guess he was asking me the difference between the civics as well as the political science. So basically, political science deals with the study of the political philosophies. For example, liberalism, socialism, or the Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli, Hannah Arendt, all of these people, all of these philosophers who have given their philosophies, as well as the study of political institutions, right? We talk about equality, justice, in detail, the John Rawls theory, the Indian Constitution, the governance, all of that, even the international relations is being covered under the PSIR. Then comes the civic part. Civic part is basically talks about the rights of citizens, the duties of citizens, the fundamental rights, the fundamental duties, how the government works, how judiciary works, how legislature, executive works, the separation of powers. And civics is sort of an introductory stage. Introductory stage, we all have been taught civics in our school as well. But as we move up the ladder, we are being taught political science. Okay. Then comes the next, what is the legal status of the right to vote? Now first, right to vote is a statutory right, GS paper 2 Indian polity. Now comes the type of right. Now the first one talks about the natural right. Now what are natural rights? Basically, natural rights are the one which are the rights which have been given by the nature to an individual. For example, right to life. Now right to life is a natural right of a human being. आपको कोई मार नहीं सकता. It's there in you. It's being provided by the nature only. So those are natural rights. Then comes fundamental rights. Now fundamental rights are mentioned in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, which are enforceable by the Supreme Court under Article 32. Right? So these are the fundamental rights. All the right to equality, right to freedom, cultural and educational rights, the minority rights, all of those come under the fundamental rights. Then comes the constitutional rights, all the rights which are mentioned in the Constitution, but it requires some sort of legal provisions in order to be implemented. For example, we have right to property. We have right to property. It comes under Article 300A. Article 300A. Now, this is not a fundamental right, rather a constitutional right. Then comes the statutory right, all the rights which are mentioned under one particular act, and again they ये है संविधान में मेंशन होती है, ये एक्ट में मेंशन होती है. अगेन इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए लीगल प्रोविजंस हमें चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल वी हैव मनरेगा, वी हैव नेशनल फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट. नाउ ऑल दीज राइट्स shall come under the statutory rights, constitutional right, fundamental right, as well as the natural rights. Then we move to the next, that is right to vote. Now right to vote is mentioned under Article 326 of the Indian Constitution, which says कि जो भी नागरिक है इंडिया का जिसकी उम्र 18 साल से ज्यादा है या 18 साल है, they are entitled to vote in the elections of the parliament as well as the state legislature. अब ये जो age है ये किस amendment में decide हुई थी? Anyone can tell me quickly? किस amendment में बेटा decide हुई थी ये? Anyone? Basically 61st Constitutional Amendment Act 1988, right? This is the Amendment Act under which 18 and above are being mentioned. Then RPA 1950, RPA 1951, even it's in your syllabus, Indian Polity and Governance. We have salient features of RPA Act, salient features of RPA, Representation of People Act. It's there as a line in your syllabus as well. So again, this is very important. Very good, Hina. Charita, you have given the correct answer. Hina, it's 61st. Dattaraj right, Sudesh right. Then this law regulates the preparation and maintenance of electoral rolls. Again, conditions such as citizenship, age, residence for voter eligibility as well. Now the next one, right to vote to every person जिसका भी electoral roll पर नाम है उसके पास right है in order to vote as well. Now comes the constitutional right. As I've told, all the rights which are directly being provided in the constitution or being protected by the constitution, and they are enforceable by court as well. Then comes fundamental rights are the constitutional rights, all right to equality, right to freedom, then cultural and educational rights, all these rights, right against exploitation, all these rights come under the fundamental rights. Then we move to the next, that is statutory right. Any right which are mentioned in the act which has been enacted by the Parliament of India or the state legislatures. Now it is enforceable only to the extent defined by the statute. For example, right to vote is a statutory right. Again, all the limitations, all this I have discussed. Nothing new here is being taught to you. Then we move to the next conclusion. Okay, before conclusion, I would like to tell you one or two things about this, that various cases, we have Jyoti Bala case, we have Anup Barnwal case. Anup Barnwal is a very famous case. I would like to mention here Anup Barnwal case, in which the Supreme Court has reaffirmed that right to vote is a statutory right. Right to vote is a statutory right. Okay, then currently considered a statutory right governed by RPA Act, that is Representation of People Act. Supreme Court has ruled it is not a fundamental right, but again all this nature remains possible judicial interpretation. Nothing, you just have to read only one thing, कि it is a statutory right. That is it. All that you have to remember is this only, because if a question comes constitutional right, fundamental right, statutory right or legal right, you have to tick mark it as statutory right. Okay, then comes the prelims part. Under prelims Sarthi, we have Nisar, which is scheduled to be launched on July 30th. Now Nisar is the first satellite dual frequency synthetic aperture radar system. Now it combines NASA's L-band and ISRO S-band. You can learn it this way. In ISRO we have S, so S-band, and NASA we have L-band. Now it features 12-meter unfurlable mesh reflector antenna, again 13K satellite bus, right? Then applications क्या क्या होंगी, जो भी ground deformation की monitoring है, that would be there. जितनी भी seismic activity, volcanic activity, infrastructure stability, जितना भी movement है ice sheet का, vegetation जैसे भी move कर रहा है, the forest health, the agriculture, then the storm patterns, their impact, the soil moisture, surface water resources, जितने भी natural disaster हैं, earthquake, flood, all of these would be help us in understanding. Very good, Charita. Then sea ice classification, जैसे भी है sea ice valuable for climate dynamics, detecting ships remote या जैसे भी regions है. Then shoreline changes, especially useful for the coastal management as well. Now it is a prelims practice question. Quickly solve this question, everyone. Nothing much to explain here. Very good, Charita, Katharavan, Suresh, Dattaraj. Very good. Sudesh, all of you have given the correct answer here. Very good, Ashika. Exactly. So the first one, it is the first satellite to use a dual frequency synthetic aperture radar system. Then second one, as I've told you, ISRO is S band, right? We have S space, Indian Space Research Organization, learn S from ISRO, and NASA is left with nothing but the L band. But here I have tweaked the statement and you all have given the correct answer. So second is a wrong statement. We'll use 12-meter reflector antenna provided by NASA. So B is the correct answer. That is 1 and 3 only. Then comes the next one. Quickly solve this question. This is the last one. Read each option carefully before attempting or giving the answer. Roshni, Hina, Shaka, Sudesh, Charita. Gathravan is saying B, Suresh is saying A. Anish is saying B. Hina B. So if we quickly see here, which of the, with reference to Nisar, which of the following are its key application? Monitoring ground deformation and systemic activity. This is a correct one. We discussed. Very good, Ishika. Very good. Only you are the one who has given the correct answer, Ishika. Good. Then comes, that is what I want. I want each one of you to think before answer. Read the question carefully, read each and every option carefully, then you give the answer. Okay, the moment I say give the answer, within fraction of seconds you start giving the wrong answers, and that is the major problem. Very good, Ishika, you've given the correct answer. Studying the movement of ice sheet and sea ice classification we've discussed. There is no way we have discussed कि वो asteroid को track करेगा, ये जितने भी near earth objects हैं उनको track करेगा. So third is wrong. They monitor vegetation agriculture changes. Yes, right. They detect ships, shoreline monitoring. Absolutely yes. Storm categorization, then soil moisture mapping. All these are correct. So we reach the correct answer, that is A. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, these are the correct answers. With this, I conclude today's daily news analysis session. Only this much is important from the UPSC perspective, though there is one more editorial in the newspaper today which talks about US, Israel, Iran and how this war is impacting India. There it has mentioned about the Strait of Hormuz as well. In previous DNAs, it has been discussed with you multiple times. That is the reason I have not picked it up today. So with this, I conclude. I hope you all are studying really well. If you have any queries, anything related to the UPSC thing, you can jot down your comments in the video. I will definitely get back to you within the span of 24 hours. Thank you, Deepika, Charita, Mamta, Ishika, Dataraj. Thank you so much. With this, I conclude. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.